शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्दे श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपञ्च अगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। ताप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिधि नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। Hare Krishna. So this chapter is coming. Oh, this is the deluxe edition. Very good. It has a bigger font. नहीं, ये आप लेके आई हो यही से मिली है? अच्छा, okay, good. So we see Arjuna, after seeing the universal form, Arjuna is very, very fearful because this form is very ferocious. And then Arjuna glorifies the Lord. We saw in the verses 36 to 38, Arjuna is glorifying. And then Arjuna is offering his obeisances. And then we see he is offering apology. He is feeling so much guilty that because he was not knowing that Krishna is his, not just his intimate friend, but also his supreme person. So he is offering his apology and asking forgiveness. And from the last verse, we saw the 45th verse, Arjuna is making a request. In the 45th verse, Arjuna says that after seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened. He is harshito asmi drishtva. But at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear, bhain. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. So, which form as the personality of Godhead? Krishna has so many forms. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarup. So, Arjuna will make his request more specific in the 46th verse, that in which form or which rupam Arjuna is aspiring or desiring to see. So we'll take the 46th verse. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ikchami tvam drashtum aham tatheva तेनेव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहर्ष बाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनेव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहर्ष बाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते Recite. किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्त इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुं तथैव तेनेव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विष्णु. Good, very good. Little more focus. Very good. Recite. किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुम् अहं तथैव तेनेव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते. किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनेव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते. Recite, recite. One more. No, you have already. किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनेव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वरूपी. So what form Arjuna is desiring or aspiring to see? We discussed it last time, but here Arjuna is making it more specific. That what he wants to see, that Krishna is wearing a helmet, kiritinam. Kiritinam is helmet is a crown. Normally, helmet or crown, who wears? The ordinary people wear. Only the kings wear. The kings wear. Or the Supreme Lord wears. When Krishna appeared in Mathura in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, what was he wearing? He was wearing a helmet, kiritinam. You see, I think the picture is there. Here. Is it there? No, not here. It is in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, it is in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Arjuna was aspiring to see that form as the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Chaturbhuja, Narayan Rup, as he appeared in front of Devaki and Vasudeva. And what he was having? He was not only having the crown, the helmet, he was also having in his head Gadinam. Gadinam means the club. or what we say as Gada. So the devotees are very happy to see Lord's Gada. Why? They don't feel fear, they feel protected. But the demoniac, they feel fear. So Arjuna is saying that please show me that form so that my fear will flee. And Chakra Hastam. Yeah. So here, I did not discuss that. So what he's saying, he wants to see Krishna with the crown. He wants to see Krishna having the club and also the chakra. Ikchami tvam. That is my desire. That is my request. Drishtum aham tateva. Please kindly present that form of yours. We discussed last time that Arjuna wants to also establish that how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. From him, Narayan is coming. He is not coming from Narayan. If he is coming from Narayan, then how can he exhibit Narayan Rup? It is not possible. But Narayan is coming from him. So Krishna showed that before, that in this one form, you see all the Rupams. You see all the demigods. And the master of all the demigods is Lord Vishnu. So he wants to see that form. And then he particularly says, Teneva Rupena Chaturbhujena. And that form which is four-handed form. Previously we have seen that Krishna has exhibited many-handed form. In the previous verses, Arjuna was saying, Ananta Bahu. In the 19th verse, Arjuna was saying that Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam Ananta Bahum Satishurya Netram. Ananta Bahu means that you are having unlimited arms. There is no limit to your arms. But now he is giving the limit. What he wants to see? Only the four-handed form. Why? And then again he is saying that Sahas Bhava, Bhava Vishwamurte. Because in this universal form, you have exhibited thousands of arms. And then he's saying Bhava. Bhava means his feeling is expressing, just become Vishwamurti or universal form. So you limit your form from unlimited to become the four-handed form. Although the four-handed form of Narayan is also unlimited. But his extension from Vishwarup to become the Narayan Rup. So this Arjuna is making a request. He is saying, O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with the helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Why Arjuna, previously Arjuna was seeing Krishna in how many forms, how many arms? No, that is only in the universal form. Universal form is just momentarily. We discussed universal form is not eternal. Huh? That is within the universal form, no? Normally, Arjuna as a friend, how many hands Krishna was? Two-handed form. So Arjuna is not making a request to see the two-handed form. He is making a request to see the four-handed form. Why? Can anyone say why? Natural for him was to request for the two-handed form. But now he is requesting to exhibit the four-handed form. Why is it so? Krishna is?
Actually, confirmed that Krishna has given to him.
Krishna has?
Given to him.
What?
When he was about
Huh?
the truth that he is the supreme personality of God.
Okay. But the reason for that is what the Acharya says, that Arjuna wants not just to commit the same mistake what he did before. In the two-handed form, what he will see Krishna as? His own friend. But in the four-handed form, he will not see Krishna as his own friend. What he will see? He will see the supreme personality of Godhead. So he will always be in reverence. He will always be in respect. He will not treat him again as his own friend. So for him to commit any further offense will not be there. Like the director comes here. So how you will treat him? As a director only. You cannot treat him in some other capacity. If the director comes, you can treat him only as a director. But if he comes later and he becomes one of the class student, then I don't treat him as just as a director. I treat him as a director and also as a aspirant, a student who wants to know Bhagavad Gita. Then relationship changes. So what Arjuna is requesting here, one, that Arjuna wants to establish to the world that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the source of Lord Vishnu. These people don't know because Krishna's birth is very, very mystical. As Janmashtami will come, we will speak on it. Uh, Krishna has already given this principle in Bhagavad Gita that Janm Karma Cha Me Divyam 4.9. That Krishna's birth and Krishna's activity are all transcendental. Murli sir, you are logged from here also. तो लोग देख रही हैं, सुन रही हैं. अच्छा, वेरी गुड. अच्छा, मैं इसको देख के मुझे लग रहा था कि शायद आप लोग आज भी नहीं आ रहे. हाँ. आप उस दिन आए थे जब हम मंडे को आए थे, तो नहीं आए, नहीं आ पाए थे आप. So Krishna's appearance, his birth is very, very confidential. It's such a big mystery. People don't know, and it is not possible for them to know that how Krishna appears. They just see that he appears in the prison house. That is very, very minuscule part of the story. So Krishna's appearance. So he wants the world to know that the Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. So Krishna also appears simultaneously as one of the expansions of Vishnu also. Because that is also true. It is not false. But he is the source of Vishnu and he appears in his original form also. But that people don't know. Because that is a very big confidential truth. You saw this verse 4.9. So what Krishna is saying? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata taktva deham punarjanma na neti mameti. So Arjuna, you call Gauragi, why she, you know, she will spend 15 minutes there. So why Krishna is saying this in the transcendental knowledge? Krishna is in a way, he is inviting all of us. What is he inviting? That if you want to be free from the cycle of birth and death, where you have to focus? On my Janma, on my Birtha, and my activities. So they are not ordinary, they are transcendental. And one who knows the mystery of his birth and his activity, he becomes also transcendental. Transcendental means that he is free from birth and death. It is so powerful that anyone who knows about him, he also surpasses the cycle of birth and death. So just imagine how powerful is Krishna. So Arjuna is requesting here so that he may not commit the same mistake what he did before. If Arjuna wants to see Krishna in the two-handed form, then what is the probability? That familiarity beats contempt. You know this principle? In Vaishnava etiquette, we teach this. Familiarity breeds contempt. Familiarity, you means that what we think, he is like me only. He also sleeps, I also sleep. He also eats, I also eat. He also has cough. He also has, cold. Now, what is the difference between me and him? So we try to scale the spiritual personality down to our level. And then what we do? We commit offense against him. Because we don't have spiritual vision. We cannot see his spiritual position. So Arjuna is giving us this lesson, this learning, that we should never do that. So Arjuna is very cautious. So Arjuna is not requesting that you show me your two-handed form. Here he is saying that I may not commit the same mistake again. So please show me the grandeur or the opulence of your form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. the official form of Chaturbhujena. So let us see the purport. In the Brahma Samhita 5.39, it is stated, Ramadimurtishu kalani amena tishtan. The Lord is eternally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms. What are the forms? Rama and Adi. Adi means many more. And Murtishu means the embodiment. And Kala means the part. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has many, many parts. Parts means his expansions. Part does not mean that it's cut and one part. It means his expansions. We are also his expansions. But what kind of expansions we are? We are his separated parts and parcel. We are not his integral part and parcel. Like the sunshine. What is the sunshine? The sunshine is the separated part of the sun. How many sunshines are there? Is there any count to the sunshine? In the entire universe, how many sunshine particles will be there or molecules will be there? There is no count to it. There is no limit to it. But it is what? It is a separated part. The source is only the sun. From sun it is coming. And it has the quality of the sun. It has both heat and light. Isn't it? Does the sun come to us? What comes? The sunshine comes to us. It filters and reaches our room inside. So, the Lord is having so many expansions. And he is situated in hundreds and thousands of forms. And the main forms are like Rama, Narsimha, Narayana. So these are the main forms. Rama, Narsimha and Narayana. There are innumerable forms. But Arjuna knew that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, assuming his temporary universal form. So this fact is known to Arjuna very well now. If actually we are studying Bhagavad Gita, if we are student of Bhagavad Gita, then this conviction and clarity must come. Otherwise, our Bhagavad Gita study has not begun. What is the first conviction that will come? Is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This realization we must reach. There should not be any ambiguity or any doubt in our heart. So Arjuna is fully convinced. Where is the conviction of Arjuna exhibited? Where did we see that Arjuna is convinced about this fact that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of? No, before that also. Before that, where? Which part of Bhagavad Gita? हाँ? कौन से वाले? हाँ? No, where we see? Can we say that we are convinced that Krishna is the personality of Godhead? Can any one of us say that? Please hear. Huh? Not 10 to 14 verses. You have come very close, but not accurate. You are mixing two things. Huh? Don't mix, filter it. There has to be very clear, crystal filtered conviction in our heart. Then only we will become devotee, otherwise we will not become devotee. As soon as this conviction is there in our heart that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what does it mean? What is the natural outcome of accepting Krishna? 10.20? 1.3. Okay, what is the verse? Purusam Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. So here it is, Arjuna is very clearly making the conviction. And when Arjuna is making this clarity, this conviction, so if we say that we know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what it means? Then we also know what we are. We are his eternal parts and parcels. So what is the part and parcel supposed to do? He is supposed to serve the Supreme, the whole. That means he has become surrendered. If one has not become surrendered, that means one is not clear in his conviction. He is still wanting to try something else in this world. So he will rotate in the cycle of birth and death. He cannot be freed. So you see, because after speaking this word, two verses are together, 13th and 14th, 12th and 13th. So look, see, what is the natural outcome of confirming Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? What is the 14th verse? Arjuna says, Sarvametad ritanmanne yanmam vadasi Keshava. That I accept everything you say as the truth. That means there is no hesitation or there is no inhibition in following what Krishna says. When you know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead and Krishna desires this from us, then where is the question of any hesitation? So Arjuna is very clear that Krishna is the personality of Godhead, assuming his temporary universal form. He is now asking to see the form of Narayan, a spiritual form. This verse establishes without any doubt the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Krishna is what? He is Adi Purusha. Adi means the original, the first person. He is the primeval Lord. Srila Prabhupada writes, he is the primeval Lord. Primeval Lord means from him others come. And all other features originate from him. He is not different from the plenary expansions. So he has expansions, and expansions of his expansions are called plenary expansions. And then there are further expansions. There is no limit to it. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His integrated parts are called Swaamsha, that is the Vishnu Murtis, and his separated parts are called the Vibhina Amsha. Swaamsha is all the Vishnu forms, and Vibhina Amsha are the Jiva forms. And he is the God in any of his innumerable forms. In all other forms, he is fresh like a young man. That is the constant feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Krishna is, Arjuna, Brahmaji says that he is Adyam Purana Purusham Nava Yauvanam. If we see in this material world, if you say that he is the original person, that means what? He is very old and very weak and very important. Not important. But that is not applicable for Krishna. Although Krishna is the original person, he is the first person, he is the oldest person, but he is always ever fresh. He is ever youthful. He never becomes old. Krishna never becomes old. Because his body is not material. His body is eternal. It is spiritual. So his body is Nav Yauvanam. The Prabhupada is saying, in all forms he is fresh like a young man. And that is the constant feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many jivas, vibhin amshas, who claim that they are God. How can they be God when their hair has become grey, when their teeth is falling, huh? When they are going towards the graveyard or funeral? They are not God. But what they are doing, they are trying to fool others. Many, so-called bogus people in India, they claim that they are God. Prabhupada used to ask them that if you are God, then how you are becoming old? The Lord is ever youthful. He never becomes old. Because his body never deteriorates. Ajo api san avyaya atma, in the fourth chapter, he is speaking this. Fourth chapter, I think it is the sixth verse or the seventh verse, that his body never deteriorates. And material body, it can never sustain. It will deteriorate and finally it will die. So that is the difference between the Supreme Lord and the living entity. Yeah, it is 4.6. He says that my transcendental body never deteriorates. So Arjuna wanted to establish this fact. Arjuna knew this very well. So there are multiple reasons why Arjuna is asking him to show the Vishnu Murti form, the four-handed form. Okay? Clear? So these were Arjuna's request in the 45th verse and the 46th verse. Arjuna is making the request. So after hearing Arjuna's glorification, Arjuna's obeisances, accepting him, then Arjuna's apologies, and then Arjuna's request. So we see how Krishna responds. This is from the 47th verse. So the prayer section is over. So we see how Krishna responds. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Prasanne Tavarjunedam Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yogat Tejomayam Vishwam Anantamadyam Yanme Tvadananena Drishta Purvam. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yogat Tejomayam Vishwam Anantamadyam Yanme Tvad Ananyena Drish. Recite, those who did not recite. Okay. Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yogat Tejomayam Vishwam Anantamadyam Yanme Tvad Ananyena Drishta Purvam. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yogat Anantam Adyam Te Vishwamanantamadyam Yanme Tvadananena Drishta Purvam. So the Supreme Lord is saying that, my dear Arjuna, I did not show you my form of the universal form to frighten you. No, no. Or neither did I want you to start glorifying me or pampering me. No, that was not the purpose. Why did I show you my form in first place? Maya prasannena tabarjunedam. That out of my own pleasure, I exhibited this form. That I was very satisfied and happy with it. Maya prasannena. Because I was very satisfied and happy with your friendship. So I exhibited this Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yoga. Then I exhibited this universal form. And this universal form, of course, it is Tejomaya. It is very illuminating. How much it is illuminating? You remember? How much it is illuminating? How much? Thousands of sun are rising together. Even if you see directly the sun, when it is in the horizon at mid noon, can we see at the sun? And if millions of suns come, then what can we see? We cannot see. Our eyes will be blinded. How? By not lack of light, but access of light. So Krishna is saying that Tejomayam, and it is Vishwam. This form is very extraordinary because in this form, in one place, in one form, you see the entire creation. You see everything, everyone. Where? In one place. Why you are sit down here? Sit down and here. So this is, and it is Anantam. There is no end or no limit to it. And it is Adyam. Adyam means original. Adi. Adi means original. And he says, what you have witnessed or what you have seen, Yanme Tvad Anannena. There is no second person who has seen the form which I have shown to you. Na Drishtva Purvam. No one has been able to see this form besides you, Arjuna, in the past. So you are the only most fortunate and sole person who has witnessed this form of mine. Okay? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you my internal potency. And this form which I have shown is not by the material illusionary energy, it has been exhibited by my internal potency. Internal, there are two potencies. There are actually three, although the Supreme Lord has many, many potencies. But three are the chief. Did we discuss that? I don't think we have discussed this. So what are the three potencies of the Lord? It is the first is the internal potency, or it is the spiritual potency. What does the spiritual potency does? The spiritual potency, if we take shelter of the spiritual potency reveals to us who we are. What is our identity? Right now, what we are thinking? What is our identity? Our identity is according to our form or our action. But both is changing. Is it permanent? No. So that means we are not under the shelter of the internal potency. We are under the shelter of the external potency, or it is called the Maya Shakti. Internal potency is called the Swarupa Shakti, and external potency is called the illusionary Shakti or the Maya Shakti. What the Maya Shakti does, it always covers the original identity of the living entity. He will always think himself what he is not. And between these two potencies are all the living entities, which is called the Jiva Shakti. So Swarupa Shakti and Bahiranga Shakti. And the Jiva, it is his choice. Whether he wants to take shelter of the Bahiranga Shakti or he wants to take the shelter of the Swarupa Shakti. By default, everyone in this conditioned world, they are forced under the Bahiranga Shakti to transmigrate from the Bahiranga Shakti to come to the Swarupa Shakti. What one has to do? One has to connect to Krishna. Krishna told to Arjuna that Mahatma Nastu Mam Partha Devim Prakriti Mashrita. that, my dear Arjuna, you don't worry, because you are under my spiritual potency's protection, my Swarupa Shakti's protection. But who will get protection? Not anyone and everyone, not according to our desire or our aspiration. Who gets the protection? Bhajanti ananya manso. You see the verse? This is 9.11, I think. 9.11 or 12. 9.13. So who gets the shelter of the internal potency? Krishna says, Mahatmana. So they are under the spiritual potency. Why? Because they are bhajanti ananya manso. They are fully engaged in the devotional service. So if we, to the extent we engage in the devotional service, we are coming under the protection of the spiritual potency. And to the extent we engage in worldly activities, to that extent we are under the influence of the illusionary energy. And as I said, so the spiritual potency or the Swarupa Shakti or the internal potency, what it does, it reveals to us our identity. It also reveals to us the identity of the Supreme Lord. And it also reveals to us what is our eternal relation with the Supreme. So unless and until one comes under the shelter of the internal potency or the spiritual potency, he will never know who he is. That is not possible. Because the illusionary energy, it always covers the eternal identity of the living entity. He will always identify himself with the body and with the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego. He cannot reach to the conclusion that he is beyond both his soul. To come to the level of soul realization, it is only possible who is under the protection of the Swarupa Shakti. So Krishna is saying that I am my dear Arjuna, why you are so terrified? Why you are so fearful? Why you are offering so much apologies? I did not mean to frighten you or terrorize you. I showed you this form because you desired and I was happy. You see, this is what Arjuna makes the request. In the initial verses, he says that, in the fourth verse, he says that if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form of my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. He says, I did not, show this form to tell you that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you, bow down to me, and then you apologize to me, and then you to offer obeisances to me. No, no, no. That was not my purpose. My purpose was because I was happy with your friendship, and you desired it, so I exhibited it. Not to terrorize you. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you my internal potency, this Supreme Universal form. So that is a very important aspect. So the living entity cannot get freedom unless and until it takes the shelter of the internal potency or the spiritual potency. That is our journey in this human form of life. To be free from the influence of the illusionary energy and to come under the protection of the spiritual energy. Then there is perfection. Then our relation with the Supreme Lord is firmly established. Then it can never be broken. But it is easier said than done. Even one lifespan is less. Why? Because we have so much distractions. We have so much distractions and our intelligence does not work. Even we see that we are not this body, but still we don't accept. We know that we are not this mind, but still there is no experience beyond that. So again and again, our conception remains the same. We are not able to come out of that conception. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken just to make us come out of this bodily conception of life. So Arjuna wanted to see the universal form. See the purport. I'm running out of time. Arjuna wanted to see the universal form of the Supreme Lord. So Lord Krishna, out of his mercy upon his devotee Arjuna, showed his universal form. There was no other purpose for Krishna showing this form. Full of effulgence and opulence. This form was glaring like the sun. Not only one sun. How many sun? In which verse he is saying? Which verse? Which verse? Give me the exact reference. 12th. If hundreds and thousands of suns were to rise at once in the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So Krishna is admitting, yes, that this universal form has great effulgence. This is full of effulgence. And its many faces were rapidly changing. Why? Because from that one face, he was able to see the entire creation. He was able to see all the demigods, all the people of prime position. Krishna showed his form just to satisfy the desire of his friend Arjuna. Because Arjuna requested. This form was manifested by Krishna through his internal potency. Although we say that the universal form is not spiritual, it is temporary and it is manifested in this material universe only. It is not permanent in the spiritual abode. But it is not a creation of the illusionary energy. It is the creation of the spiritual potency. Because the illusionary energy cannot come in presence of Krishna. You are getting it? The illusionary energy cannot come in front of Krishna. Where it stays? It stays only at the back. Which is inconceivable by human speculation. No one had seen this universal form of Lord before Arjuna. But because the form was shown to Arjuna, other devotees in the heavenly planets and other planets in outer space could also see it. That is why Krishna says, Yanme tvad ananyena na drishta purvam. Before Arjuna saw it, no one else saw it. But because Krishna granted this form, this vision to Arjuna, with Arjuna, many other also benefit. We are also benefiting. Actually, we are also seeing the universal form, but I don't know how many are connecting. Through Arjuna, through this verses of Bhagavad Gita, we should be able to see, at least connect. But the problem is our mind is in some dream state. It is wanting somewhere else. It is not focusing on Krishna. If we focus on Krishna, then we can see the universal form. Everything is detailed here. What he showed in the form. So who could see? But because this form was shown to Arjuna, other devotees in the heavenly planets. Prabhupada is saying only devotees in the heavenly planets and other planets in outer space could also see it. They had not seen it before, but because of Arjuna, they were also able to see it. In other words, all the disciplined devotees of the Lord could see the universal form, which was shown to Arjuna by the mercy of Krishna. So this is a great favor. This is how we receive the favor. This is how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he manifests himself. He only manifests himself because of his being satisfied with one of his unalloyed devotees. The devotee pleases the Lord and the Lord reciprocates with the devotee, so he reveals himself. And as he reveals himself to that devotee, anyone and everyone who is connected to that devotee also gets the benefit. He also gets the opportunity. When in 550 years before, when the Braj or Vrindavan was almost unmanifest, it was covered. There was no place of Krishna's pastime visible, no temples were there, No deities were there. So first personality to go there was Sripad Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri reached Govardhan. So Giriraj, hmm, that is the deity of Gopal, he came in his dream and he said, Madhavendra Puri, for so long I had been waiting when you will enter this area. Why? Because now you have come, now I will manifest myself. Two reasons he says why I will manifest myself, because to express my love to you and accept your service. So we are performing service to the Lord. That means what? We are expressing our love to him. Because devotee means he is not asking anything in return. Then it is a business. And the Lord is not so cheap that he does not know. He knows what is our intent. And second, he says that because I will be exchanging uh, reciprocation with you, I will give the opportunity to the others to be benefited. So they will also be redeemed. They will also be delivered. If Srila Prabhupada, one personality, would not have traveled and taken, yesterday we celebrated, today is 8th, na? Yesterday was 7th. We celebrated the incorporation of USA, incorporation of ISKCON in USA. 60 years now. Not very long back. 60 years is not very long back. Just 60 years back, Prabhupada started this movement. And you see, within 60 years, it has reached almost every part of this continent. Not continent, the entire universe, entire planet. There is no city, no country where ISKCON devotees are not there. And how it started? Only by one person. So Prabhupada, he is a pure devotee of the Lord, and he wanted to do this service. And what a service he did! Unparalleled service. And because he's a one man, so many millions and millions of souls have got the benefit. That even here in your IARI, we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, where is the possibility? Where was the possibility for us to give up our profession, our career, so-called career, and our family life and become monks? Because we were convinced with this person and what he has done. And we are also convinced with what others are doing. They're just wasting their opportunity. Both clarity is there. So it is the reciprocation. Out of the reciprocation of love of Arjuna, Krishna showed this form. And Prabhupada is saying that because of Arjuna, they were all able to see it. In other words, all the disciplic devotees of the Lord could see the universal form. So Prabhupada is saying all those who are coming in the succession, they got the benefit, they saw the universal form. So if we have studied Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter, then we know the universal form. It is as good as experience of Arjuna. If we are actually connected in the disciplic succession, which was shown to Arjuna by the mercy of Krishna. Someone has commented that this form was shown to Duryodhana. So many people say, oh, this claim is not good. But which people? Those whose knowledge is incomplete. Yes, Krishna also showed his universal form, partial universal form to Duryodhana. When Duryodhana tried to uh, capture him. So Krishna said, what you can capture me? What your soldiers can touch me? They cannot touch me. Krishna showed his partial form, universal form. He expanded himself. But he did not show the Kala Roop. Did he show the Kala Roop? Did he exhibit so much of detail what he showed to Arjuna? No. It was a partial manifestation. Krishna also showed the partial manifestation of the Vishwaroop to Mother Yashoda. When Balram complained that Krishna is eating mud, and Mother Yashoda came running, because if the child eats mud, then when the mud goes into the stomach or the belly, what comes? Worms. So Maya is saying that, did you eat mud? He says, no. Like Maya asks, did you eat butter? He says, no. Then open your mouth. Open your mouth. Let me see. And when baby Krishna opened his mouth, Mother Yashoda was completely bewildered. In the mouth, she saw everything of the, but not so detailed. The detail which he has shown here, he has not shown to anyone before. So here it is being written that the form was shown to Duryodhana also when Krishna went to Duryodhana to negotiate for peace. Unfortunately, Duryodhana did not accept the peace offer. But at that time, Krishna manifested some of his universal form. But those forms are different from this one shown to Arjuna. It is clearly said that no one had ever seen this form before. And we should not have any doubt because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Himself saying. Okay. So in this two verses, we see the reciprocation between Arjuna and Krishna. Actually, if you see, Bhagavad Gita is very, very relishable because entire Bhagavad Gita is loving exchange between Krishna and Arjuna. But to be able to see that exchange, to be able to feel that exchange, and to be able to dive in that exchange and experience that rasa, what it requires? It requires a devotional heart. If you tell people, please read Bhagavad Gita, they said, प्रभु जी कुछ समझ में ही नहीं आती है क्या है. प्रयास करते हैं, दो चार श्लोक पढ़ते हैं, उसके बाद बंद. हमारी तो कभी बंद नहीं हुई. 24-25 years. And the thirst or the desire to dive deeper, it is only increasing. Why? Because they do not see that what is the underlying exchange which is happening in Bhagavad Gita. They're not connected. Like Prabhupada says, someone is trying to lick the bottle of the honey from outside. What he will know what is honey? He will say it is tasteless. Yes, it is tasteless because he has not tasted honey. He is licking from outside. Here Prabhupada is saying that who will be able to see the universal form? Who is coming in disciplic succession. And what it means to be in disciplic succession? What it means to be in disciplic succession? Officially taking an initiation, wearing kanti, having shikha. What is disciplic succession? Oh, this is what Arjuna is saying. Sarvam etad ritan mande. I accept everything you say as truth. Following Krishna fully, verbatim. But that is not easy. Because we feel that we are more intelligent than Krishna. So how we can follow Krishna? Actually, Krishna should follow us. This is the hallmark of a person who is haunted by the illusionary energy. Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti, he feels that he is the best. And his life is completely tormented by the illusionary pursuits. By the time he will come to know something, his life will be over. Useless struggle. There is a joke of a Buddhist monk. When a young person became a Buddhist monk at 20, he wanted to change the world. But when he became 30, he realized he cannot change the world. So he wanted to change the country. At 40, he realized he cannot change the country. So he thought that let me change the city. So 10 years also passed. He became 50. Then he thought that I cannot change the city. Then he realized that let me try to change the community where I am living. But then he realized in 10 years, he cannot change the community. And finally, he realized that I cannot change anyone. First, I have to change myself. By the time life was over, finish. Life is over. So we are having this opportunity. How less people have come. So less people have come. People are just not interested to know what is their welfare. They don't want to open the eyes from the illusion and see the reality. Online also 6, 8, 10 people are there. In the class also 10, 12 people are there. Hardly anyone is interested in his self-interest. And this is not new. This has been said by Prahlad Maharaj. Nate vidu swarth gatim hi Vishnu. Why? Durashaya. Bahi arth manino. Durashaya means what? The shelter of the illusionary realm. Krishna has said that. So please do a little detailed study. So what will happen is some intelligence will start working. So we can see the reality around, what is there in the world. And if we can see the reality, then the dream or the illusion can be, the thick veil of illusion can be pierced. If you don't have an opening in the illusory cover, then how can you see? Okay, I'll stop here. I'll stop here. It is 9. So if you have questions, please ask questions. You should ask questions. If a person's intelligence is working, then he will inquire. Otherwise, nothing has happened. If an elephant is moving and if you throw roses at him, what is the effect? Nothing. Nothing. What you have to put? You have to throw spear at him. If you give him a spear, then he will return back and see who is hitting him. So this message is not hitting us. So we remain what we are. There is no change. Hare Krishna. You have any question? Okay, ask.
Three potencies.
Yeah, 3 potencies. Mainly, he has Parasha Shakti, Vividhe Vasuyate. But is the 3 major is the internal potency, or which is called the spiritual potency or the Swarupa Shakti, which makes the Jiva come to know who he is, who is Krishna, and what is his relation with Krishna. So that is the perfection. And the other is the illusionary energy, or which we call as the Maya Shakti. हम बोलते हैं ना सब कुछ माया है. अरे माया है तो माया में रहना किसने कहा है कि जरूरी है? माया से बाहर आओ ना. कोई कुएं में गिर गया तो ये किसने कहा है कुएं में ही रहो, कुएं से बाहर निकलो. And third potency is the Jiva Shakti, all of us. And we have freedom. Either we can take shelter of the illusionary energy or we can take shelter of the spiritual energy. That is why we are called as the Tatastha. Tatastha. The marginal energy. Like you see the land which is on the seashore. Sometimes it is the part of the land, sometimes it is the part of the sea. When the waves, they move ahead, so the land, it merges in the part of the sea. And when the waves, it contracts, it becomes the part of the land. Okay, so let me announce that last time I told you. Okay, online viewers, you don't have any question? No one has any question to ask? Hare Krishna. Dineshji, how are you? Once in a while we have your darshan.
Last time I missed out, but then later on I YouTube पे मैंने आपका I was able to hear you.
Okay, you are coming tomorrow to temple? Sunday.
I'll come, Prabhuji. I'll come, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.